Hey everybody, welcome to the Thanksgiving Facebook edition of Facebook Live with HMR. I'm Sandy, health coach here, and I'm here to bring you some recipes, tips, and tricks, and hopefully wow you with a Thanksgiving recipe or three. And if you are in phase one, phase two, just checking us out, you're in the right place because you'll be able to take some of these ideas and run with them on Thanksgiving, or really any time in these next couple of months as we finish out this holiday season between now and the end of the year. So some of the things I'm going to share really can be seen as survival tips for making it through this holiday. If your goal is to be in the box, then it is possible. We've got some great tips, as well as if you are just looking to control calories and really manage your calories in and out well so that you get through this eating season without any weight gain, then that would be a major victory. So I'm here to help you out, but I want you to help us out as well by commenting with any tips and tricks that you have up your sleeve for managing the Thanksgiving holiday. And I'll tell you what we're looking for. What do you do before the meal or before the day gets really rolling, during the meal, and to control calories or to stay in the box? And then what about afterwards, when the desserts come out or the leftovers are hanging around? What then? What are some of your strategies that you've either used before or that you've already planned to do? You've already thought them through. Maybe you're here a blank slate and need ideas, and you're in the right place. And we are going to get started right now. If you've just joined us, I'm Sandy, health coach with HMR. And in the comments, you can share your tips and tricks, your recipes. And, if you are just joining late, don't worry, you've just missed the intro, so you haven't missed a thing. And I did get started late, so you didn't miss much. And I see Helen's joined us, Sue, and Scott is also joined. So nice to have some people already on with us. All right, so just getting the lay of the land here, I want to present to you kind of a twist on HMR's traditional Thanksgiving in a dish. Now that we have the new Whole Grain Medley with Chicken Entree, I'm going to use that in place of what we typically use for this particular recipe. I have made the Thanksgiving in a dish before when I was on a road trip, and put it in a thermos. So that's one of my tips I'm going to share for you right now. But we're going to get cooking here in just a minute. But I'll be sharing Thanksgiving in a dish. I've got some of the process started here, and I've also got something in the oven. So we'll be pulling that out, and I'll be showing that to you and kind of describing the taste, the smells. I can smell it right now. It smells like turkey's in the oven, stuffing's in the oven in my house. All right. So I'm going to get started cooking, but I want you to also begin sharing some of your tips and tricks for what you do before, during, and after the Thanksgiving meal to keep calories down or to stay in the box, whether they're calories in or calories out. If you have some PA tips, we want to hear those too. Hey, Audrey, thanks for joining us. So glad you're here. All right, Melissa's with us. So nice to see so many people on already, getting some commenting going. So let's get started. So I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna demonstrate a dish. Let me get some of the wheels turning here with the before strategies, before the meal. I just wanna share one. It kind of sounds like a mantra. Start your day with PA. I don't know about you, especially if you're hosting or if you're traveling for the day. Once your day gets started, it's so hard to find time to fit in that PA. So if you can get it going right from the start, get it done, then you'll just be ahead of the game. You'll be not having to search and figure out how you're going to get it in later. So start your day with PA. That's one of my mantras. And so we are going to get started. You share your before strategies or maybe your during strategies. So Thanksgiving in a dish is a recipe that's been around HMR for a while. So I thought I'd freshen it up a bit and use our whole grain medley with chicken entree instead of what we traditionally do, which is use the savory chicken, which you can still do. You just cut up the chicken bits. With the whole grain medley, the chicken's already, all cut up and easy to just kind of mix in with the recipe. So let me tell you what's in it. I'm going to refer to my recipe down here so I don't skip anything. I don't want to leave anything out. So one, either savory chicken or whole grain medley entree. You're going to use a half a cup each of diced celery and onion. I already cooked mine up just to save some time. And so that's there in the pan. A cup of water, one HMR soup packet. I guess I already threw it away. One HMR soup packet. And also I like to use Bell's seasoning, but you can use poultry seasoning, parsley, sage, rosemary, thyme. I could sing you a song, but I won't. But you'll use I used just a half a teaspoon in mine. If you would like more flavor with the seasonings, you can certainly add more. So I softened up my celery and onion in my pan with just a little nonstick spray until they got soft, about 5 minutes. And I'm going to, first of all, warm up my water. I've got my cup of water in my dish that I'll be demonstrating in. While that's heating up, let me just describe what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be mixing my my chicken soup in with my water, which looks like I'm going to have to go grab a packet. And thought I had it out here. And I'm just going to combine everything, and I would stick it in the oven at 350 for 30 minutes. I'm going to run and get my chicken soup. All right, so while my water is heating up, I just want to share with you a hack I've done for decision-free, making this recipe decision-free. For those of you on the HMR program where you're not quite using veggies and fruits yet, it's not part of your plan, you can use, 2 ounces of hot water instead of a cup, 1 pack of chicken soup, half a teaspoon of your seasoning, and your warm whole grain medley. I've got that in the oven. I'll be showing that to you in just a moment. But to make it healthy solutions friendly or phase 2 friendly, just got my cup of hot water, my chicken soup. I'm adding into my bowl here. I'm going to whisk that up. I love a whisk. I've got an assortment. I love them. They're so quick and handy. You can whip that right up. All right. Pardon me. Got my Bell's seasoning and my half a teaspoon measure. Okay, so I'm going to get my whisk going again. Right there. All right. So it's looking an ugly color. Don't worry, we will fix that. So I warmed up my entree before I went live, and I'm just going to add that in. I just heated it up, a minute or 2 in the microwave. And I'm going to add that in to my bowl there. Maybe I should move back so you can see. I'll move on back. All right, I think you can see there. Excuse me. Got a tickle. So I'm adding in my diced onion and celery, right, like that. All right, and then I've also got a cup each of peas and carrots, and you can use frozen or canned. Just make sure if they're frozen, you've thawed them out first. Okay, so this is good to mix together, and you can see it's kind of soupy right now, but once you bake it for 30 minutes at 350, that's all that liquid's going to get absorbed, and it's going to have the flavor of stuffing, like dressing, with your turkey. You'll get all the flavors and all the taste of that Thanksgiving poultry because you've got the chicken in there, and there's grains for the you know, the graininess of our dressing we enjoy at Thanksgiving, and then all the flavors with the vegetables and the spices in there. So like I said, I made a decision-free version ahead of time. Let me pull it out of the oven. Okay, oh boy, oh my gosh, look at this, guys. So again, 2 ounces of water, 1 chicken soup, 1 whole grain medley, and the seasoning. It is looking really yummy. It's got a little bit of a, I don't know if you can see this, kind of a brown toasty top. And it might be too hot to taste, I don't know, but I don't want to wait. Oh yeah. So good. It really does taste like Thanksgiving dressing. I'll set this over here. So I would just take my Healthy Solutions or Phase 2 version, put it in a pan. You can use, you know, any oven-safe dish. Bake it 30 minutes at 350. All right. So you got your main course there. I didn't mention an appetizer, but we've got some great appetizers. The mushroom risotto with a little bit of light soy sauce mixed in, stuffed in portobello mushroom caps, and stuck in the oven, make an awesome appetizer. I've taken those to many parties, and they've flown off the platter. I gotta get a sip of water. Gotta be able to make it through. Let's take a look and see who's joining us. See if you're enjoying the recipe, the ideas for before, during, and after. Hi, Georgina. And there's Elise. Audrey has a tip for us. 1 whole plate of vegetables before anything else. And that brings me to a tip I was going to share. Audrey kind of beat me to it there. I think she's on the same plane as I am. When you sit down to your meal, so now we're getting into some before, during strategies, filling your plate 3/4 full of vegetables and or fruits is really going to save a lot of calories. It's going to really anchor your plate with those low calorie filling servings of vegetables and fruits. That's if you're able to have vegetables and fruits at this point in your plan. Let's see if we've got anything else. I see Allison's joined us and Erin. Hey, Kate. All right. What time should I come over? Kate wants to know. Anytime, Kate. You're welcome anytime in my kitchen. All right. So I've demonstrated Thanksgiving in a dish. If you missed it, if you just joined, don't worry. You can watch it afterwards. But we are going to move on to another favorite mantra of mine. Don't go where you can't say no. So this is another tip for you. This is from Coach Nancy. She said it years ago and it really stuck in my brain. Don't go where you can't say no. So in other words, if you know an environment is just too tempting and you're really just gonna, you know, not be able to stick to what your goals are, it might make sense to perhaps maybe arrive to the event while appetizers are being served, or after appetizers have been served, so show up for dinner, or maybe leave early if dessert is too tempting, or go for a walk, you know, when dessert is being presented. You know, consider removing yourself if you cannot remove the foods that are too tempting. So don't go where you can't say no. All right, so keep sharing your tips. I'm seeing a lot of people joining us. Hi, Angie. So great to have so much involvement here tonight. All right, we are moving on, and we're moving on to in-the-box sweet potatoes or yams, whatever you want to use. So I have already made mine, and what I did, I'm just going to show you, this is going to be really quick. I just cooked a sweet potato in the oven. I like them in the oven. They retain their moisture a little bit longer, or a little bit better, rather than cooking them in the microwave, but microwave's faster, so whatever you want to do. I used about a medium sweet potato, cooked it in the oven an hour, peeled it, mashed it, put about, it wasn't quite a half a cup of crushed pineapple. Here we go. Just some crushed pineapple with the juice, stirred it in there, and this is the kicker. This is what really brings it to life. The Torani's sugar-free brown sugar cinnamon syrup, and I just did a splash. It was like a tablespoon sprinkled the top with cinnamon. Now you could go and bake this again, you know, stick it in the oven and get it kind of toasty on top if you want, but it's good right now. I couldn't wait. I sampled it before we went live and I have to have more. So good. You would think there's butter and sugar in this, but there's not. It's just the pineapple, the syrup, and the cinnamon, and sweet potato. So good. This is so good. All right. So if you're, we're moving on to more tips. Please keep sharing. I invite you to share your before, during, and after strategies. Maybe you even have recipes. But how are you controlling calories and or staying in the box this Thanksgiving? All right. So I want to say if you are hosting, can present some challenges for sure. Or, you know, if you're in charge of cooking the meal, for instance, it's just so easy to graze all day or for many hours while you're preparing or putting things out, or as you keep passing the food by as it's, you know, sitting out for others to enjoy. And those little, you know, bites here and there can really add up. So beware of the BLTs. I'm glad Audrey's on. This reminds me of Audrey because she's so great at describing how, you know, those bites, licks, and tastes can just really add up before we're even sat down to the meal. And so consider having something as you are going through your day and there are lots of foods around, a shake in your hand or at your reach, maybe crudité with the veggie trays or the fruit platters. I've seen those fancy turkeys made out of vegetables with a low-calorie dip. You know, consider having something that you can say yes to so you can avoid those BLTs, bites, licks, and tastes. All right, so sharing your strategies, I hope, during the meal. Any strategies for during the meal? We talked about anchoring your plate. Hi, Diane. First time here. Hello, Steve. I'm looking through the comments. Hey, Allison, glad I shared something new with you because you're such over-practiced at many of the healthy behaviors. So it looks like pineapple in the mashed sweet potatoes was a new tip for her. Glad you have a takeaway. So let's see, just stopped in pineapple juice or pineapple in the potatoes. Not sure the question, Tina, but what I did was I just got my measuring cup and it's crushed pineapple. It's kind of hard to drain. It's not much juice in there. It's mostly pineapple. And I just scooped out a quarter cup plus another maybe eighth. So that I just included the juice. I didn't drain it. Not a lot of juice in there. All right. Shane's having raw veggies in easy reach to avoid the BLTs, I think, Shane. Very good. All right, so we're going to move on here. Anchoring our plate with vegetables was mentioned as a strategy during the meal, but what else are you guys doing during the meal to help you keep calories down and maybe even stay in the box? And I will say, if you don't have what you need with you, it's not going to be there to eat. So never assume there will be something there wherever you are that's supportive of your goals. So you take charge of your day and make sure you've planned. All right, speaking of supportive foods, what's Thanksgiving without pumpkin pie? You guys see it sitting over here somewhere? My pie crust, look at this. In the box pie crust, multigrain cereal. I took out all the fruits, the dried fruits, and I pulverized it in my NutriBullet, but you can use a food processor or a food chopper. Pulverized it, and I just added a tablespoon of water plus a little bit more water, mashed it up in there. That's all it is. And then I baked it for 15 minutes at 400. I made a pie crust, and I made my pumpkin pie filling. Now I used 270 plus vanillas, 2 ounces of water per packet, so that's 4 ounces of water, stirred it all together, and I like to add a quarter cup of canned pumpkin per pudding. You might like yours more pumpkin-y. You can add more pumpkin. And then some pumpkin pie spice. I just put about a quarter teaspoon to a half a teaspoon, probably closer to half a teaspoon. and just do it to your taste. What else did I add? That might have been it. Let me look at my recipe just to make sure. Oh, Splenda or Sweet and Low if you want to use Sweet and Low. Either one. Don't use equal. It will clash with the sweetener in the 70 plus. Mix it all together, and you've got your pie filling. And I've got my spatula here. I'm just going to put it right into my, let me move this out of the way, my crust. Now, if you were to eat this whole thing at once, it's 3 shake servings in one sitting, but I could totally see this being a 2 serving, dessert. Some for now, some for later. When the desserts come out again, you know how that is. The desserts just keep coming out, It's like Thanksgiving lasts more than one day, so you might need to make one of these and have it the next day too. All right. So now you could put a dollop of fat-free Cool Whip on top of this, but do you see how it just looks like a little miniature pumpkin pie? All right, I'm going to taste it. This one's a new one for me. It's got a crust that you kind of have to work to get out. I did spray my dish, but it sticks a little bit. All right, I'll get up close here. Can you see this? I've got crust and pie on there. Oh yeah, crunchy crust on the pumpkin pie. I feel like I'm having Mom's pumpkin pie. So good. All right, we've made it through the meal. But what else do you do before, during, and after? I mentioned, things hang around afterwards. Leftovers, desserts, linger. So make sure you've got some strategies in place. Let me check our comments, see if anybody's left any more here. I think someone had, Audrey mentioned going outside and playing with kids after the meal. It helps limit the grazing. Great idea. Find something else to do besides continuing to hang around the food. Someone asked, what is HMR? That's a great question. HMR stands for Health Management Resources, and we are a weight management company. Please check us out on hmrprogram.com. That's our website. Lots of great information there. And our phone number is there if you want to call us and talk to us. All right, let me just check and see what else we've got going here. Okay. Allison adds, I like to add 1 tablespoon butterscotch sugar-free pudding to the pumpkin. So yummy. Even without the crust, you don't have to have the cereal on hand. Perfect. In fact, I think that's on our website, is a crustless pumpkin pie. You could totally just eat the pie filling. All right, guys, lots of great tips. I invite you to just continue to comment, share, even if you're watching this after the fact, after we've turned off the live feature. You can replay this. If you're watching it later, feel free to comment, because we'll all be able to see the comments and the tips. It's so nice to be able to share amongst each other and just get some great ideas. My final tip for you, whether you're in phase 1 or phase 2, make a plan to meet your minimums no matter what. And of course, more is better. All right. Now, next Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, Coach Sharon will share some tips about how to handle this eating season. What about the rest of the year? How do you finish this year strong? All right. And that'll be 7 o'clock next Monday. So you only have to wait a week for another Facebook Live. And I think I speak for everyone here at HMR that we are so very thankful for all of our clients and our patients every day of the year, but especially this time of the year. We want you all to know just how thankful we are of you, or for you. All right, guys, have a wonderful evening. Thanks for watching. Continue to comment. Bye-bye.